Alright guys, so now we're talking in my category, marinara sauce. Before I went primal, I was a pasta freak and ate pasta pretty much daily. So I had to also switch my marinara sauce from the regular Ragu, Prego kind of brands, which if we look at this label, has sugar, soybean oil, and other natural flavors. Kind of scares me a little bit. So I had to opt for something a little bit better. This is my favorite marinara sauce, Rayo's Homemade, tomato and basil. It's amazing. Basically bake some chicken, pour it on top, heat it up in the oven for about 10 minutes with the marinara on it, and it's so good. The ingredients list is tomatoes, imported olive oil, fresh onions, fresh basil, salt, fresh garlic, black pepper, and oregano. All good ingredients. Basically, it's almost like you made it at home. So, go for it. Make sure to check the labels on all your marinaras before you start using them with vegetables or your spaghetti squash. Okay, so now we're at the eggs. This is going to be a staple in your diet as well. Always buy organic eggs. If you watch the movie Fooding, you'll know why. You always want to check to make sure they're not broken. Of course, everybody knows that. Organic eggs, if you can get them with omega-3 enhanced eggs, that's even better. But we're going to get Chase these organic eggs here. Alright guys, so now we're talking in my category, marinara sauce. Before I went primal, I was a pasta freak and ate pasta pretty much daily. So I had to also switch my marinara sauce from the regular Ragu, Prego kind of brands, which if we look at this label, has sugar, soybean oil, and other natural flavors. Kind of scares me a little bit. So I had to opt for something a little bit better. This is my favorite marinara sauce, Rayo's Homemade, tomato and basil. It's amazing. Basically bake some chicken, pour it on top, heat it up in the oven for about 10 minutes with the marinara on it, and it's so good. The ingredients list is tomatoes, imported olive oil, fresh onions, fresh basil, salt, fresh garlic, black pepper, and oregano. All good ingredients. Basically, it's almost like you made it at home. So, go for it. Make sure to check the labels on all your marinaras before you start using them with vegetables or your spaghetti squash. Okay, so now we're at the eggs. This is going to be a staple in your diet as well. Always buy organic eggs. If you watch the movie Fooding, you'll know why. You always want to check to make sure they're not broken. Of course, everybody knows that. Organic eggs, if you can get them with omega-3 enhanced eggs, that's even better. But we're going to get Chase these organic eggs here. Alright guys, bacon section, my personal favorites. Bacon is actually not as bad for you as you may have thought. On a primal diet, we do like fat. This would be considered your fatty meat. Don't count this as your meat source. This is something that you'll eat just a little bit of. You don't want to go overboard with it, but I do love bacon and eggs in the morning. I like to cook the bacon, and you can also mix it in with your vegetables, saute it. It's all good, so buy some bacon. Nitrate-free is probably going to be the best choice, or is going to be the best choice. Unfortunately, I'm not finding any nitrate-free at this particular grocery store, so do the best that you can, but if they do have it, go for that. Okay guys, so more frozen stuff. We have frozen fruit, blueberries and strawberries. You can get these in a mixture. These are great to have on hand as well because you can snack on them cold and they're pretty good, kind of like a frozen treat. Or you can make a smoothie, and we can talk about some frozen primal smoothies in the future as well. Always good to have these on hand so you have fruit. Okay, so an easy snack for protein is deli meat. Now, we want you to get something that's actually from the deli. It's going to be a little bit more expensive. However, this is going to be a better quality, a little less salt in it, rather than the already packaged deli meat. So, turkey, your pick. We got some peppered turkey today, and it looks really delicious. That was Chase's choice. Our cart's looking pretty good. We have a few more things that we want to get. We're going to see if we can find some coconut butter and some avocados and maybe a decent ketchup for all you ketchup fanatics out there. So, let's. Alright, Alright, so now we're in the condiment section. Ketchup and mustard are usually some of our staples in our pantry, and you might want to look at your label before buying. Mustard is actually going to be a pretty good option to have as a condiment. There's no sugar added to these. There's some, distilled vinegar, grape mustard seed, sea salt, paprika spice, and garlic powder. It's not too bad, really. So you can have some yellow mustard on hand. And then ketchup you want to be really careful with. Most of your ketchups are going to have high fructose corn syrup if you look on the label. This is something you want to stay away from. It's really bad for you. I found one, luckily, Annie's Naturals is the ketchup I use if I'm having it, but Organics actually has no high fructose corn syrup in it. So it's tomato concentrate, organic sugar, organic vinegar, salt, organic onion powder, and organic spice. Not too bad of an option. The sugar is pretty low. So if you are a fanatic with ketchup, this is going to be your option. Get rid of the other stuff. Avocado, healthy fats, make some guacamole, eat it just like it is. Probably a good idea to have this, throw it on a salad, throw it on your meat. Chase is getting a couple. There you go.
Thank you.
Okay guys, we just got done with our grocery shopping trip. Chase has a full basket of groceries here, ready to primalize his house. And this cost about right around $100 for all of these groceries. That's a pretty good budget to have for your primal food. Now I know that when I used to cook a lot, that's about what I would spend, and I was getting a lot less quality of food. So this is pretty good. I think we did a great job finding some good budgets. So you can do it too. This is our new pantry. As you can see, it's a lot more bare than what we had before because you don't need to buy all of that stuff. All the box stuff that you buy and it gets stuck in your pantry that you never even use and it stays there and it's good for a year. We don't want any of that. So if you look in our pantry now, we have some nuts, lots of good nut choices. We have some bananas, some spaghetti squash. We have some marinara on hand. Some diced tomatoes, oils, sweet potatoes, onions, still have that tuna, roasted diced tomatoes, and some spices, and our personal favorite, always have to have vanilla on hand.
The biggest thing to remember with this pantry, if you're going, there's nothing in here, it's because when we're eating primal, we want to eat things that are alive. We don't eat a lot of things that are non-perishable. So most of the food that we eat is going to go in the fridge, or we're going to eat it pretty close to the time around when we buy it.
So let's take a look at the fridge now and look at the difference between what we had in there before and now what we have. Okay, so now we're at the fridge. Let's go ahead and take a look. The first thing I think you'll probably see is a huge box of vegetables. Chase got this today at the local farming company, and there's lots of good choices there. We also got some fruit. We have some blackberries, some apples are in here. We got those. We have our eggs, good eggs for breakfast. And then we put a lot of the other vegetables down in here, along with Pooter wants to
Pooter, get out of the way.
join the camera. We have bell peppers now, deli meats on hand. All of this is great. Those carrots I talked about before, great snack to have versus the ice cream. And then if we look up here, we now have frozen vegetables on hand. We have some frozen meat on hand. He's pretty much set for as soon as he gets home. He's got meat, vegetables, some fruit for dessert, some nuts to snack on, and he's good to go. Primalized kitchen.